And you know what? This is where we're sitting. It's just a microscopic dot of what is available to go see. Here we are at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum. Thanks to the Norwegian Cruise Line, we're going to have quite a day. Jelly Roll is going to be with us later. We've got some great interviews lined up. Did you know this August they're celebrating their 80th anniversary of the ship's commissioning?
Wow. How
cool. 80 years ago. And when you come to the museum, you can see all the different lives this ship has lived. And I don't think there's anyone better to kind of share some of the story with us than Alicia Siegel, who's the producer of public programs here at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum. Thank you for waking up in the middle of the night and coming on board with us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Thanks for being here.
So let's talk about this ship. I mean, if you come here as a guest and you soak in as much as you can about the history and all it represents in military and in air and sea and space, there's got to be some stories you may know that we have no clue about, or let's talk about where we're sitting right now in the middle of part of the museum. Like, what happened here or close to where we're sitting right now in the ship's history?
Yeah, so the Intrepid, the former USS Intrepid, it is a naval aircraft carrier. So if you happen to be going down the West Side Highway here in Manhattan, you've probably seen it. You've probably gone past it a million times, but stop in, come see us. It's got a really interesting history. It served from World War II through the Vietnam War. So as such, all of that time, it has seen a lot of history, right? So it started off, World War II, of course, we actually had 2 kamikaze attacks that happened right here, pretty much where we are sitting.
Wow.
If you come inside the ship, we have a wonderful interactive show kind of presentation that you can come and see where you can recreate what that was like. A lot of men lost their lives right here, actually. So, of course, Fleet Week is something that's very near and dear to our heart, honoring those who served here throughout the years, not just during World War II. After that, of course, we served in the Cold War. We also served during the space race. We picked up 2 space capsules during the early days of the NASA program.
So cool. There's one right there.
Yeah, that's a replica of our the Mercury capsule, Mercury Aurora 7, which actually was picked up yesterday in 1962. So we have an anniversary there as well.
Wow.
And then during the Vietnam War as well. So it's got such a rich history, so many different eras that it has lived through. We have so many different planes from each of those eras and helicopters. We've also got a nuclear weapon-carrying submarine right outside, too.
Oh, I heard that you can actually go down into the submarine.
You can explore everywhere. That's what's really great, I think, about this museum is that it's very immersive. So you are literally in the ship, right?
Wow. Yeah.
The museum is in the ship. You walk in and you are hit with that wave of that smell of jet fuel all around you, the steel all around you. You can explore everywhere.
It is really cool. And that submarine, you think your apartment's small, Gandhi.
No, that submarine's way bigger than my apartment.
Well, I don't know. You have to see. I mean, how many soldiers would be on the submarine at one time? Do you know? I mean,
well, I'm not sure about the submarine in particular, but here on the ship we had about 3,000 at a time.
Right,
and
so it's close quarters.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
We like to say this is like a city at sea. So they'd have to bring everything with them. They'd have to bring their doctors. They'd have to bring their barbers, their chefs, everything with them because you're going out for 6 to 9 months at a time. And you're in the middle of the ocean.
Wow.
So just as cushy and fun as a Norwegian cruise line ship.
Yeah, exactly the same. Okay, I have a question. You said a lot of people lost their lives. Of course, we understand that. I know Danielle has to be wondering, do you guys ever have any paranormal activity on this
Oh, my
thing?
gosh. I love that you asked that. Some people have experienced some things here.
Yes.
Some of the late night ops crews and whatnot. I will say, actually, I was working an overnight for a teen event here, and I'm actually really into that too. I brought some EMF detectors just for the heck of it, and there were a couple spots where it spiked a little bit.
Ooh.
So I have not personally seen anything. I'm not trying to scare anyone, of course. Kids, come, and there's nothing scary here.
Wow. Nothing
I
scary.
haven't actually seen anything scary, no. But yeah, I mean, there's a very, very rich history of a lot of people losing their lives here. So we do take that very seriously, of course.
We should.
Yeah.
What got you interested in this? Was this something that you got a job and then you became interested, or you've always been intrigued by this?
With the museum?
Yeah.
So actually my background is in theater. I'm an actor, and I fell into museums sort of as a day job because specifically I started working in a museum performing for school groups. And so I started here in education, doing tours, and also leading up a program called Crossing the Line, which we're wrapping up right now, which uses primary sources based on the collections that we have here from our history of World War II through the Vietnam War to create performance pieces with kids. So we are wrapping that up now. I've also had the chance to produce some actual theater pieces here on site too. We just launched one about Betty Skelton, who was the first woman to undergo the Mercury astronaut tests in 1959 recently.
Wow.
And we did a 1940s radio show.
Okay, we wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
So back in the 1940s, of course, radio was a little different than it is now.
Yeah.
And radio was really all they didn't have TV, really. I mean, it was all radio. People sat at home and watched the radio.
Right.
And so they had these great shows back in the 1940s that they still have them recorded. You can listen to them. So you actually reproduced some of these actual radio shows, right?
That's right.
Right here on board.
Right here on board, yes. So the U.S. Armed Forces Radio Service, they put together records, obviously back then, and they would mail them to all of the ships, out at sea, so all the guys could listen to them while they were here. They didn't always get radio service. And so, yes, we, researched it, found all of those original files, all of those original scripts and everything. And it was just kind of a mix of different variety show acts as well as some music. So, we dressed up in the 1940s outfits and
How
everything.
fun, right?
Did you do the old timey radio voice? Like,
yeah.
see? We're gonna...
So what's great is actually it was hosted by a woman named G.I. Jill. Well, that was her nickname. So yeah, I kind of took on that personality, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So we do that sometimes for Kids Week, which is also a big event that we throw in February every year, and whenever we have groups coming in for some large events and whatnot.
I love it. So you can just tell she just doesn't walk around like this is this and this is that. Alicia is definitely turning this museum into a living, breathing, dramatic, wonderful place to visit.
We like to say we bring history to life here.
And there you go. This is another reason you've got to come to the Intrepid
They're showing
Sea,
Top
Air, and
Gun.
Space Museum, and you can come see Top Gun
On
here.
Friday.
Tomorrow.
Hello. Tomorrow on top
on the
top
plate deck.
deck.
It's an
That's so
aircraft
cool.
carrier. This is the best place to do it.
So cool.
We have a series of free movie nights,
Yeah.
actually, that we put on all throughout the summer. So we'll be doing Top Gun, the original Top Gun, I should say specifically, tomorrow. We'll be bookending the summer in August, actually, with Maverick, the new one, and then also a few other kind of ship-themed movies as well.
That's cool.
I love it.
Okay, let me tell you, if you want to come to the Intrepid Museum, you can use the discount. See, someone, us. Use the discount code Elvis for 20% off general admission for 4 people. It's only available online through the end of this month, I believe. This is the 5th month?
Yeah.
Yes,
May,
29th. That's online. If you buy your tickets, use the discount code Elvis. You get 20% off for you and 3 of your friends. Incredible. Look at that. We save you money. You come look at history.
Yep.
Froggy, what are you thinking about the Intrepid so far?
To see these beautiful aircrafts that are sitting here, I had no idea the wings even folded like they did. You can see there's so many things about these things that you have no idea. And how did they do this back that day and time? The technology was so further advanced than what I imagined it was back then.
And you know what? This is where we're sitting. It's just a microscopic dot of what is available to go see. So check it out, of course. It is the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum. Fleet Week, you're going to have a lot of sailors rolling through here, I'm sure.
We already have, yes.
Yeah? How exciting. And welcome to our city if you're here exploring and enjoying Fleet Week. Alicia Siegel, producer of public programs at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum. Thank you for coming on board.
Thanks for having me. And
actually,
Fleet Week, everyone.
thank you for having us on board, is what I should say.
Yes.
All right.
Happy Fleet Week. Come on, visit us.
Thanks to Norwegian Cruise Line. We're live with more on the way from the Intrepid after this.